Hey everyone. So our first stop today is going to be a pretty iconic place, the Fallingwater house, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. I'm about to get on a guided tour of the interior, and yeah, I've always wanted to see this place, so this will be pretty cool.
The foundation of the second floor is that wall?
So I added some stills in there because they don't let you shoot video inside the house, and there's only one room that you could shoot stills in, so I took as many as I could in there, and then the rest of the tour I couldn't take any pictures of the inside. So, but this is the view from, it's called Bird's Eye View at the end of the nature walk. But this is a little different angle because it takes on a little different appearance every time you look at it. So yeah, this is a pretty cool. I've known about this house, seemingly since I was a kid. It just seemed really interesting, and it's, one of the most famous houses in America. So glad I got to see it finally, and we'll be off to our next destination here in a bit, which will be, I believe, Fort Necessity, and I'll catch up with you there. So I'm here at our next stop, Fort Necessity National Battlefield. And the fort is right behind me. It's not much of a fort, and this is actually a reconstruction. So this was a fort built by George Washington when he was a younger commander. And this spot is basically where the French and Indian War started. French forces coming down from Pittsburgh, or Fort Duquesne as it was known at the time, encountered the British forces here. It did not end well for the British, and yeah, so this was basically where the opening shots of the French and Indian War started. And the events that started here would later, 20 years down the road, lead to the American Revolution and America gaining its independence. So it's a tiny structure, but very important to American history. So now I'm at the Braddock's Grave unit of Fort Necessity. So I believe it was about a year after the battle at the fort. British forces were in another battle and they had to retreat. I think they were defending on their way back from defending Pittsburgh, and there was fighting. The British General Braddock was shot and injured and died a few days later. And in an attempt to hide the body from the French and Indians, they buried him in the road, basically hiding him in plain sight, sort of. So this was the original site where the body was buried, and it was kind of lost to time for 50 years until I guess there were some crews making improvements to the road, and they were digging and found the remains of what was General Braddock's body. So they exhumed the body and they moved it up to this hill. A view of it here. So that marker on the hill is the current resting place for General Braddock. So I'm inside the Mount Washington Tavern. This was built along Braddock's Road, and it was travelers traveling by stagecoach would stop here and catch up on the news of the day and get a bite to eat, and there was lodging upstairs. This is the parlor. And can't go in any of the rooms. They're glassed off, but I was reading that the men would usually go in here into the bar room, and the women would go in that first room, the parlor, with the children. There's a dining room where everybody ate, and down here kitchen. So it looks like most of the cooking was done over an open hearth. Also reading that once the railroads got going and the stagecoach, traveling by stagecoach had kind of died off, that kind of killed this as a business, and it was sold off as a private property in the later 1800s, I believe. And then this is the upstairs of the Mount Washington Tavern. Can't actually go into any of the rooms because they're covered with glass, so you can look into the rooms, but can't actually go in. So there's 2, 3, like about 7 rooms on this floor. I believe these were used for lodging. It's really hard to see, but there's a graffiti wall. While doing some, they were doing removal of the historic wallpaper, and underneath that was signatures and scribblings believed to be from when this was a working tavern. See if I can get close to one of these. There's a past reflection. So again, it's hard to make out what the name is, but you can see that somebody wrote it. Yeah, this is our trip to Fort Necessity, and of course we came from Fallingwater before that. I was hoping to see Friendship Hill, National Historic Site. I don't know if I'm going to make it today. It might have to be another trip. If not, I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you like it. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.